Good morning, everyone. My name is Monica McDowell-Elvig. I am your center administrator, and we are so grateful that you are here with us this snowy Sunday in Seattle and surrounding areas. Blessings for being here, for being adaptable. I did not think we would be back on Zoom so soon after switching to hybrid services, but here we are. We are so grateful for this technology that allows us to be together on this holiday weekend. I am also the presider and the producer today, so stick with me as I switch screens and switch around with different things. Thank you for your patience with all of that. Also, I just have a little bit of news. While we're in transition, the board has approved me to take on the operational duties of the minister on a temporary basis, on a month-to-month basis, until the interim is selected or another decision is made. So you'll be seeing me a little bit more on Sunday mornings, and I'm glad that I can provide this service to this beautiful community. Thank you for all of your support and all of your appreciation. I am grateful for you. We have a great Sunday scheduled for you this morning. We have several volunteers who are helping to make it all possible. Jennifer Holt was our meditation facilitator. Thank you, Jennifer. That was her first time leading the meditation service. Wasn't she awesome? Thank you very much, Jennifer, for your sacred service. Also, our board host today is Rita Schwarting. Thank you, Rita, for being with us. And she will be leading the offering later on in the service. And we also have our beloved guest speaker this morning, Imam Jamal Rahman. He is a welcome friend to Unity of Bellevue. And just for those of you who don't know Jamal, I want to just give you a little bit of background. He is a popular speaker on Islam, on Sufi spirituality, and interfaith relations. Along with his interfaith amigos, he has been featured in the New York Times, CBS News, BBC, and NPR. He is the co-founder and Muslim Sufi minister at Interfaith Community Sanctuary in Seattle and adjunct faculty at Seattle University. He is an author of several books and the former co-host of Interfaith Talk Radio. He travels nationally and internationally, presenting at retreats and workshops. We are so grateful to have you back. We know that we will be blessed by your spirit and by your words of wisdom for us this morning. So thank you for being with us. Also, we heard in the news as we woke up that a great spiritual leader left the earth, made his transition, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And I just wanted to share a quote from him because I think it's so in alignment with our intentions and ideals at Unity of Bellevue. And he said, "We are made for goodness. We are made for love. We are made for friendliness. We are made for togetherness. We are made for all of the beautiful things that you and I know. We are made to tell the world that there are no outsiders. All are welcome. Black, white, red, yellow, rich, poor, educated, not educated, male, female, gay, straight, all. We all belong to this family, this human family, God's family." And so we honor his spirit, we honor his ministry around the world and to us, and we affirm those ideals here at Unity of Bellevue. Finally, our guest artist today is Faith Rivera, but we're going to start with the video that we have from Laura Berman singing "I Am Light." You should all be muted so you can sing along at home. And just give me a moment to bring that up and we will sing "I Am Light." I think we all know the words. So go ahead and sing along at home. I am unmuted, so I will stay quiet. Here we go.
With you this morning and grateful for this technology that continues to bring us together. If you are able, please stand, sing together. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. Let's know it for each other. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world. You are a light. You are a light. You are a light in this world, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. Yes, you do. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. Now we are a light, oh, we are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light. We are a light in this world, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright we do, and we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine so bright.
We invoke the radiant light that shines in us all, that birthed us all into being. We celebrate knowing that we are this light that never fades, that burns eternally with love, joy, peace, and compassion. We invite more of this light into us as we breathe into our sacred core, filling up with wholeness and wellness. We know that all is unfolding for the highest and best of one and all. We are so grateful, and so it is. Our affirmation this morning is going to come up in just one moment. As soon as I bring it up, I am going to read it one time, and then I'm going to ask you to join me the second time as we affirm together. Here is the affirmation. I am grateful for my talents and gifts and effortlessly express them in loving service to the world, creating moments of peace and joy everywhere I go. This love that I share always comes back to me, and so it is. Let us affirm together with open hearts. I am grateful for my talents and gifts and effortlessly express them in loving service to the world, creating moments of peace and joy everywhere I go. This love that I share always comes back to me, and so it is. Our guest artist this morning is Faith Rivera, and Faith is a Hawaii resident, and she sent us some holiday music videos, and we are so glad to have her with us virtually and enjoy her first video.
Woohoo! It is Christmas time. Time for us to raise our voices and let our joy shine through. Come on, let's go. It's Christmas time. We can care for each other. Time to let love shine. We're bringing joy to another. It's Christmas time. Time to let love shine, yes. It's Christmas time, see the good in each other. Time to let love shine, keep the faith in one another. It's Christmas time, time to let love shine, shine, yeah. It's Christmas time, lend a hand to your sister. Time to let love shine, standing up for your brother. It's Christmas time. Time to let love shine, shine. Christmas can be every day of the week. Just open your heart, keep believing that magic is real and the power of love. It's a gift that never stops giving. Oh, it's Christmas time. We can care for each other. Time to let love shine. We're bringing joy to another. It's Christmas time. Time to let love shine, shine, yeah. It's Christmas time. See the good in each other. Time to let love shine. Keep the faith in one another. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Time to let love shine. Make it yours and mine. Time to let love shine, 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 yeah. Make it yours and mine. Time to let love shine. Merry Christmas.
My dear friend, what a joy it is to be here among all these rectangles of love during this Christmas time, a very special Christmas time when we have been graced from above by these showers of softness and beauty. So my dear friends, I'm going to speak for a little bit about little time on greeting the new year with sacred joy and creative possibilities. And I want to start with the mention of two studies which you might be familiar with. One is by Harvard University, which is the longest running research on what are the factors, what determines our happiness and even our longevity. Is it diet, meditation, money, social status? And this study, which is still continuing, researching, over 80 years ago, these Harvard students following them meticulously. The finding is that the most important factor, the number one factor determining not only happiness, but also our longevity is relationships. It doesn't have to be perfect, but reliable relationship. That's one study. The other study, a 7-year study by Brigham Young University in Utah. As I said, 7 years. Same question, what determines our happiness? Again, number one was relationship. What was surprising was number two, the quality of our relationships, and also, this is very significant, how we relate to people we meet casually. The teller in the bank, the post person, the person in the grocery store. This has an impact on our happiness and longevity, relationships. So just be with that. Ask yourself, how am I doing in this department of relationships? So I want to take this deeper into a spiritual perspective and mention the insight that every relationship outside of myself is really a reflection of the relationship I have with myself. You know, that 13th century sage Rumi, he uttered, that what hurts the soul the most is that it has lived a life without tasting the water of one's own essence. Have I established a relationship with myself? And I mean, not just my personality, which is nothing more than a bundle of conditioned reactions to life circumstances, but also my divine spark, my Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature, Allah nature. Have I connected? Have I established a relationship with my higher self? If I have not, then the sages say, if I'm stuck at a level of personality, then I shall be living a life of manageable depression or quiet desperation. You know, in Islamic spirituality, it's fascinating that the sages talk about the critical need to give birth to our inner Jesus. Because Jesus, peace be upon him, is considered in the Quran a very profound, great prophet. He's called the Spirit of God. And in the Quran, there is an entire chapter, chapter 19, dedicated to Maryam or Mary, who is called the holiest of the holy among women. And her story is studied very deeply by spiritual teachers in Islam to explain the need to connect with, to give birth to our inner Jesus. That's our real relationship. So what is the story in the Quran? Well, same story as in Christian scriptures, that Mary is told by angel Gabriel she'll be pregnant and give birth. And she's very forlorn, depressed, astonished, bewildered, because she has no relationship with a husband. And then the Quran says Mary suffered birth pangs. We'll all suffer birth pangs in this work of connecting with our higher self. This is called the inner inconvenient work we have to do. And the Quran says Mary retreated to a lonely, forlorn, secluded place. But magically there, a withered palm tree came to life and offered her dates to nourish her. Magically, a stream appeared at her feet, offered her water. She was nourished, and she gave birth to Jesus. This is the work we have to do if you want a wonderful relationship with others, to establish a relationship with myself, with my inner Jesus. How do I do that? What are some of the practices I am doing, you're doing, to do this critical work? You know, I have two special techniques. One is I talk to myself in my internal conversation, but always with compassion, and always by addressing myself as Brother Jamal. So whenever I find that I'm having difficulties or I'm being negative, I immediately do a spiritual intervention by calling myself silently, but Brother Jamal, and I say it with mercy. And immediately I find that the direction and the content of the conversation changes. And this establishes a wonderful relationship with myself based on compassion. Second thing is, all the great sages say only the God within you can know God. So how do I purify myself? I always carry a piece of paper in my pocket. And in the course of the day, I become aware of the times I've been egoistic. I got unnecessarily angry. I write it down. Jealous, I write it down. Arrogant, I write it down. Always with compassion for myself. It's okay. That's just my personality, which is nothing more than a bundle of conditioned reactions to life's story. We all have a story. I've got to go beyond that to connect with my higher self. I've got to move beyond my ego by becoming aware of my ego traits. So I write down those instances. I also have another column in that piece of paper. I write down any divine qualities flowing through me. I spoke the truth. It was inconvenient, but I spoke the truth. I was graceful. I sincerely praised someone. I also write that down. At the end of the day, every evening, I take it out. I shine the light of awareness on it. And this light of awareness diminishes my shadows, and it grows my divine qualities, making me more aware. I'm able to, as a mystic say, little by little, transform my ego from a commanding master into a personal assistant. I'm able, little by little, every day, to polish my heart, purify my being. So I bring a heart which hopefully reflects the face of Allah like a polished mirror. So if I do this work of establishing a relationship with myself by going beyond my ego little by little, I'll be able to, what the mystics in Islam call, share 3 cups of tea with the other. In my relationship with the other. What are the 3 cups of tea? I speak about this very often. Listen, respect, connect. What is listening? I love that metaphor by Rumi. Listening is metaphorically like putting your head on the person's chest and just sinking into the answer. In this time of polarization, such divide, such chasms, we have to listen to the other. You've heard this many times probably. An enemy, an adversary is someone whose story I have not listened to. Okay, that's one, listening. Other one is in dealing with someone who is difficult, outside my tribe, whose views are different, religiously, politically. Can I make a distinction as I deal with the other, relate with the other? A distinction, a discernment between that person's behavior and being. I've probably said it over 5,000 times, reminded myself, but I have to keep on telling myself because it is so critical, this work. If I deal with someone who is difficult, can I, in dealing with this person, make a discernment between this person's behavior and being? I'm against that person's behavior, not against that person's being. That wonderful mystic Kabir from India, 15th, 16th century, he says, in dealing with somebody adversarial, protect yourself. Don't allow yourself to be abused. Take the right action. But as you take the right action, I beg you, I implore you, do not keep this person's essence out of your heart. That person's essence is Christ nature, Buddha nature, Elohim nature, Allah nature, and just making this discernment as I take the right action, has the power to shift heaven and earth. Just be with that for a few moments. Am I sharing the 3 cups of tea with the other? Okay, how else can we create joy, creative possibilities? I mentioned the word shift. In Islam, the first year, the new year, started in the year 622 CE. This was the time when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he made the shift from Mecca to Medina. You see, for 12 years, he was a prophet in Mecca, made very little progress, very few followers. But in the year 622, when he made that physical shift, change of location from Mecca to Medina, he only had 10 more years to live. But in those 10 years, he was able to unite all those warring tribes, consolidate them. And he was able in those 10 years to lay the foundation of the Islamic civilization. The point here is there was a shift. It's not only a physical location. Maybe I need a shift in my thinking, my attitude, my behavior. Traditions are full of stories about the power of thoughts. If I simply change my thought, next year, my entire life might just turn around. It's like you change a rudder on a boat and the entire ship turns around. The power of thoughts. We live in our heads. A large part of our life, the great sages say, make it a beautiful place. Become aware of the power of your thoughts. Like the Buddha says, you are what you think. Everything that you are arises with your thoughts. Speak and act with pure thoughts, and happiness follows you. Like the wheel follows the oxen cart. Speak and act with impure words, thoughts, unhappiness, sorrow follows you, like your shadow follows you. I repeat, I'm talking to myself, Brother Jamal, can you become aware of the power of your thoughts? I love that Buddhist story of 2 monks on a stormy day. They're arguing, debating because a banner is fluttering in the wind. And one monk says, the wind is moving. The other monk says, no, the banner, the flag is moving. They go to a great sage who says, you're both wrong. The mind is moving. The mind is moving. That is why I love this practice called neti neti. Brother Jamal, the moment you have these negative thoughts, become aware. Because if I'm not aware, it will develop into difficult feelings, negative feelings. If I don't check it at that point again, it'll morph and degenerate into negative, monstrous, imaginary scenarios that can overwhelm me. You see, everything is interconnected. I might think it's only in my imagination. It is. But the imagination is connected to everything else, to what is called this real world, and vice versa. Everything is interconnected. So this practice of neti neti is the moment you become aware of a negative thought that is morphing into a negative feeling, leading to negative imaginary scenarios, do a spiritual intervention. Neti neti, not real, not real. Letting go, letting go. Cancel, cancel. Delete, delete if you're cyber savvy. But do that exercise. Okay, that was about a shift in your thinking. Now I want to just mention about the shift of my unburdening, your unburdening by letting go. Letting go of what? Only you know. Letting go of a resentment, anger, hate, a toxic relationship. What do you need to let go of? Let me go back to those two monks. This time the two monks are traveling to a certain destination. They come to a stream, water, and there they see a beautiful woman on the banks wearing a beautiful silken dress, and she begs the monks, can you please carry me over because I have this beautiful dress. It'll get soiled in the water if I try to wade through that. So one monk just picks her up, carries her onto the other side, and lets her down on the other side, and the two monks continue the journey. But the other monk begins to berate the monk who carried this lady, saying, how could you have touched that woman? Don't we have vows of chastity? How could you have touched her? You've broken your vows. The other monk doesn't say anything. Again, this monk says, brother, how could you have done that? You touched a woman. You broke the vows of chastity. Happens a third time. Happens a fourth time. Then the monk says, brother, yes, I did carry her over to the other side, and I dropped her on the other side of the stream. But you are still carrying her. What am I still carrying that I need to let go of? Unburden myself. Be with that for a few moments. What do I need to let go of? Sometimes what we're clinging on to, we think is good for us, and it is, but it becomes a burden. What do I mean by that? Another story, which is found in several traditions, all allegorical. A person has to go to a certain destination, crosses mountains, deserts, but now comes to a body of water, cannot swim it. But he casts or she casts the creative eyes around and sees bamboos and twinings, what we call jute, makes a small raft, a tiny raft, gets on the raft and crosses the river. But having gone to the other side, what does a person do? Picks up the raft, puts it on the head or shoulders and starts walking. And that's the end of the story. But the caption is, and how burdensome that journey has become, carrying the raft on the head. But you might say, I might say, that person needs a raft. Maybe another river or stream or body of water to cross, and maybe no bamboos, no twinings, no jute around. You see, I need to have faith. Faith. Otherwise, maybe I always need to be in control, and that becomes a burden. Can I have faith in something higher than human personality, human institution? It'll take too long to explain all the different ways to develop faith. Let me just give you some insights from the traditions. For me, this really resonated. I asked the almond tree, oh, sister almond tree, tell me about God. And the almond tree blossomed. Or I love the words of Rumi, who says, silence is the language of God. Everything else is a poor translation. Maybe I can connect to God through authentic silence. Or, as in the case of Gandhi, among many other ways of connecting with the invisible, you might call it God, spirit, divinity, to have faith in that, is to really deepen a divine quality. If you study Gandhi's life, he was an absolute failure in his younger days. Very shy, totally lacking confidence, somehow forced himself to become a lawyer. But on the very first day he presented his case, he began to stutter, stammer, because he had such little self-esteem, and he fainted. But as he began to recover, meaning wondering what to do, he read this one sentence from the Hindu scriptures: truth is God. Truth is God. And that resonated, splashed in his chest. And he practiced that divine quality. Can I be truthful? Can I become the truth? And he found that connection that way. So ask yourself, for me, what works to develop faith? What other shifts can we make? Another one the sages say is, Jamal, can you be grateful by not taking things for granted? In fact, in some traditions, some mystics have said, this is the biggest problem we human beings have. We take our blessings for granted. A story, I don't know if it's which country it happened in, but I've seen it in several newspapers. A person who had the COVID and was on the ventilator, and he lived to tell the story, but when he got the bill, it was a huge bill, like I think $15,000. But he was not shocked at the price. What he was stunned by was how precious breath is and how he had taken it for granted. We take our breath for free. Can I be grateful for the blessings that I just take for granted that can change my life? Just a few more quick points. Can I, in the new year, live fully? What do I mean by that? The great sage Hafiz, 14th century sage Hafiz from Persia, he says, one of your greatest regret on your deathbed might be that, oh universe, I did not kiss you enough. Oh universe, I did not kiss you enough. So what does that mean for you? I love the words of Rumi, who says, I want to sing like birds sing. I want to sing like birds sing, not worrying about who hears and what they say. For me, what has freed me in this area is this insight given to me by my parents. When I was young, they said, here is a wonderful insight. Care about people's approval and you become their prisoner. It's just a law of the created world. Whosever approval you seek, you become their prisoner. Therefore, as the Sufis say, choose your jailers with care and deliberation. Whosever approval you seek, you become their prisoner. Therefore, choose your jailers with care and deliberation. Also, the great mystics say, take some risks. There's a wonderful story, a true story of a student who admired this teacher, and one day went to the teacher and said, oh Sufi master, because of your teachings, thank you so much, before I take a critical decision, before I plunge into something which is very important, I think not once, not twice, but 3 times. What did the master say? Once is enough. Don't hold back. Take some risks. Grow from your mistakes. Here's another one. Can I make a discernment between form and essence? But can I really understand this? Between form and essence. So here's a very familiar story in several traditions. Let me take the Buddhist version. You know, monks, they are so busy in service, they don't have time to cook food, so they beg for food from householders. This particular monk goes to a householder, knocks on the door, happens to be the house of a jeweler, and begs for food. Of course, the jeweler is delighted, gain merit in heaven, brings food, asks his wife to make some food. And as the monk opens the pouch, the jeweler sees an priceless jewel in the pouch of the monk. And the jeweler says, "Monk, I'm a jeweler. This is like worth $20 million. Where did you get this?" And the monk has equanimity, very peaceful, says, I kind of remember a disciple gave it to me 5 years ago. And suddenly the monk says, "Do you want it?" He says, "Of course not. It belongs to you. It belongs to you. It's yours." Monk says, "I know, because it belongs to me, I'm choosing to give it to you," and puts it in the hand of the jeweler, the householder, and the monk goes away. Now the jeweler is so happy. His life has changed, life of his loved ones for generations. But now the questions. Should I tell my wife about it? Of course, she's my wife. But my wife has a sister who's so gossipy. The whole village will know. Should I tell my wife or not? Should I tell IRS or not about this? Should I hire guards? But if I hire guards, people will know I'm guarding something very valuable. But if I don't hire guards, it might be stolen. Question after question after question. He cannot sleep. 1 day passes, 10 days passes. He's totally confused, burdened. Finally, an insight strikes him. He takes that jewel and he tries to find the monk. After 10 days, he finds the monk and says, monk, take this jewel back, take this gem back, but give me the real gem." The real gem? He says, "Yes, I realized the real gem is the ease, the peace, the calmness by which you're able to part and give away this gem, precious gem to me. That is what I really want." Ask yourself, in my life, am I pursuing the real gem, form or essence? Just be with it for a few moments. And I'm watching my time, so I'm bringing it to a close. Just one or two more points. No life is complete without being of service. And the truth is, our soul feels extraordinary joy in being of service. The quotation which I love and I quote all the time by Tagore, who says, "I slept and dreamt life was joy. I awoke and found life was service. I served and lo, service was joy." Now, Prophet Muhammad gives very good advice. He says, "Do good deeds, be of service according to your capacity." God never tires of giving rewards unless you tire of doing good deeds. The good deeds most loved by God are the ones that are done regularly, no matter how small they are. Ask yourself, what are some good deeds I can do regularly, no matter how small they are? The great sages say, Jamal, when you die, on the day of liberation, you have to leave your money and your titles at your palace. Your friends, family can come only up to the gravesite. Beyond that, what takes you further is a record of your good deeds. As I said, I'm watching the time, so I'll just go over by 2 or 3 minutes. If it's okay, Monica. Okay. 2 quick points and then a very brief meditation. Please include laughter in your life. Laughter. You know, I'm in my 70s, and I've said this very often, that we think about death quite often. It's natural. But I love this insight by the sages. You know, Jamal, here you are so scared, you might go into non-existence. But if the truth be known, non-existence is trembling in fear. It might be given human shape. The other one I love very much is, Jamal, when you do die and go over to the other side, and you look back at your life, at all your dramas and melodramas and this and that, you will laugh and laugh and laugh. And they say, why wait? Laugh, right now while you're alive. And the last point is, we critically need community. Community, authentic community. A wall standing alone is useless. Add to it other walls. It can support a roof. Only when ink joins with a pen can the blank paper say something. So may we create wonderful community. And I'll end my talk by this wonderful saying by this famous sage, Ibn Khafif, who says, find someone, the sight of whom reminds you of God, the awe of whom moves your heart, and is someone who counsels you, not with the tongue of words, but with the tongue of deeds. And with that, a 2-minute meditation. Close your eyes. Become very still. Focus on the lowest part of your spine and make an intention that from the lowest part of your spine, the sacrum area, you're sending a beautiful cord of light all the way down, deep, deep, deep into Mother Earth, connecting us to the womb of Mother Earth. With eyes closed, now focus on the crown of your head and make an intention to send a beautiful cord of divine light. Remember, intention equals action in the subtle realms. Intention to send a beautiful cord of light from the crown chakra going upwards, way up, higher, higher, piercing those realms and connecting us to the heart of heaven. And now, let go of that, eyes closed, focus on your heart. Listen to this beautiful revelation that came to the Prophet Muhammad in a dream, where God, Spirit says, Beloved one, I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart. The space of the heart is infinite. It is the wellspring of love, of compassion, beauty. So now, focus on your heart, which is boundless, infinite, and now make an intention to pour out light and love in an outward, expansive direction into the world. Send it out. Remember, the more light and love you pour out, the more love and light we become filled up with. So unabashedly, let us pour out light and love from this boundless space of the heart. And now, as I do a Quranic chant at the end of it, just coming into awareness. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. And gently open your eyes. And thank you, my friends, with 5 minutes over. But I know you're very gracious and forgiving. Thank you.
Look at the time, in the wink of an eye, it's Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Places to be, family to see, and all the things I rush around to buy. Slow down and find the wonder of a child, 'cause it's more than a season of giving gifts to those we love. It's about a looking deeper for a peace we all dreamed of, like a baby in a manger with new eyes to see the world. Love is born in an instant. Isn't that what it's all for? Maybe this year I'll show that I care by giving that most precious gift of time. Where can I start? Can I open my heart to be with those that mean the world to me? Well, slow down and see all that Christmas can be, 'cause it's more than a season of giving gifts to those we love. It's about a looking deeper for the peace we all dreamed of, like a baby in the manger with new eyes to see the world. Love is born in an instant. Isn't that what it's all for? This Christmas, let's light a candle, hang Grandma's star on a tree, make gingerbread angels, be grateful for the life we lead. Let's take the time now to simply breathe, remembering what Christmas means. It's more than a season of giving gifts to those we love. It's about a looking deeper for the peace we all dream of, like a baby in the manger with new eyes to see the world. Love is born in an instant. Isn't that what it's all for? 'Cause it's more than a season of giving gifts to those we love. It's about a looking deeper for the peace we all dreamed of, like a baby in a manger with new eyes to see the world. Love is born in an instant.
Good morning. I feel like I'm in a snow globe here and really grateful for the technology that we get to use all too soon. Again, Jamal, thank you for your message. And you are such an amazing teacher. I'm grateful that you're here with us today. This is a time in our service when we give of our love offerings and tithes. And all week long, I thought about making sure that those of us in the sanctuary would drop off our checks and cash and whatever into the basket. And here we are. But on your screen, there's the different ways of giving to Unity of Bellevue, our spiritual home, where we get to listen and respect and connect while we love, serve, and grow in our spiritual community. I invite you to join me in our offering affirmation. Please join me. I give freely and for the joy of giving. I know that seeds sown in love produce an overflowing harvest of good for me, for the center, and for all people. Lovingly I give, joyfully I receive, and so it is.
We give thanks for all that we have, all that we are, all that we have experienced, knowing it is all weaving together in a beautiful tapestry that is beyond our imaginings. We offer these tithes and love offerings as sacred gifts to the beautiful unfolding of all. We are blessed even as we are the blessing, as we seek to transform our lives and the world into unity, into oneness and love. We are so grateful, and so it is. Well, we are having a little bit of a switch, and I am doing announcements too this morning. So here they are. First of all, if you are visiting with us for the first time, we welcome you with open hearts. We invite you to go to our website, unityofbellevue.org, and there is an I'm New page, and you can select a welcome packet. Just click on that button, and we would be happy to send you some treats and some goodies with love from Unity of Bellevue. You can also go to our website, and at the bottom of every page is a sign-up form for our weekly e-newsletter. That's the best way to stay in touch with everything that's happening while we're hybrid and while snow is in season. So we look forward to connecting with you. The prayer chaplains are here to pray with you. Our prayer chaplain today is Jennifer Holt. She will be on after service. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then she will lead us in a confidential prayer circle in the breakout room. So join her for a powerful time of prayer together. You can always send your prayer requests to the prayer chaplains at prayerchaplains@unityofbellevue.org. Living What Matters, the last one of the year, week 52 in the Book of Soul by Mark Nepo, meets this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Even if you didn't come to the first 51 weeks, you are welcome. That is Reverend Marla's last official duty. The Zoom link is on our website launch page. Now that we are shifting back into hybrid services, we are looking for volunteers. Sabrina will be back on staff January 2nd, next Sunday. So reach out to me in the meantime, to her then, so we can get some of those volunteer roles served, and you can do your sacred service for Unity of Bellevue. Just take note that our offices are closed this week for the holidays. And if you are wanting to get in any last minute gifts, before the year ends, now is a great time, and also getting in those pledges for 2022. Also, next week we are doing something special, weather permitting. Mary Ellen Johnson will be guiding us in a water release ceremony, followed by a labyrinth walk in the atrium. There will be some online options too. This is just a great time for reflecting on the year that has been and the year that is to come. And Brother Jamal, thank you so much for your reflections for us as we make a big transition, a big shift into this new year. We appreciate you always and your heart and your guidance and your spiritual wisdom with us. Okay, so we are going to close us out with a peace song. I put the words in the chat and the comments. We're going to do that with Laura Berman's video, and then we will have our benediction followed by a break and then the prayer circle. So let's sing the peace song together. Here we go.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Happy Sunday.
Let me get that benediction up for us and let us close out together. Please read it with me. The heart of the universe beats in me. The mind of the universe thinks through me. The light of the universe illumines me. The grace of the universe remembers me. As I leave this place, God's blessing is upon me and on all that I do. And so it is. Have a blessed week. Happy New Year. We'll see you next Sunday.
This is the year for making changes. This is the year for moving on. This is the year of overcoming. This is the year for growing strong. This is the year for a new way of thinking. This is the year for making plans. This is the year for reaching out, and this is the year for joining hands. On our lonely nights of yearning, on all the dark and cloudy skies, all the unsteady bridges burning, all of the doubt and all the lies. This is the chance to recapture the power. This is the time to abandon the fear. This is the moment, the finest hour. This is the year, this is the year. This is the year that I put into action all my desires and all of my means. This is the year that I follow my passion. This is the year of my dreams. This is the year I'm letting go of trying to change the ones I love. This is the year I turn it over. This is the year I look above. This is the year that I take my intention, turn it away from distraction and talk. This is the year I take the step, and this is the year I walk a walk. This is the year that I put into action all my desires and all of my means. This is the year that I follow my passion. This is the year of my dreams. This is the year I make it happen. This is the year I follow through. This is the year I move ahead on all of the chance to renew my commitment. This is the time to be conscious and clear. This is the moment for living fully. This is the